All right, good morning. It is exactly 8 minutes past 11 a.m. A Friday, a fun-filled one. What better way to begin today than with the people's perspective? My name is Paula Chine. With me, I have the big bird. How do you do that?
Yeah.
All right, Seun Kuti is in the house. Seun, it's great to see you. You look radiant this morning. I don't think I've seen you wearing black before.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
I've seen you wearing white, red, burgundy, but not black.
I've been rocking this my Lumumba t-shirts.
Oh, wow.
It's by my friends in Paris, a company called United Souls. So
really?
They make t-shirts with just like the image of revolutionary and pan-africanist African leaders.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so they send them to me and they just sent me this Nkrumah, Lumumba one, and it's so nice.
Oh, wow, I'm jealous.
I didn't even know it was black.
It is, but like the print, the face on it is amazing. That's
I just
nice.
saw Lumumba's face. I'm like, this is what I'm wearing today.
Someday, would you like to have your face on t-shirts like this?
I think I already do have my face on t-shirts like this. Yeah, we have a Resist brand that we sell while we're on tour. And people that support us buy them. So, yeah.
Great. It's good to have you here. Now, we're going to be talking about something let's start with home. What happens at home? They say charity does begin at home. I don't know if you're aware of the fact that there was kind of a showdown between the Lagos Waste Management Authority and the markets. So basically, the markets are said to have been sealed up to yesterday. At least 2 markets were said to be under lock and key, and that is because the authority said that filth was the reason for sealing these markets, and that the market traders refused to oblige and comply to laws as regards disposal of refuse. So they felt like the only way they could tackle poor hygiene in the market area was to seal it. So it will serve as a deterrent, and they will take these warnings seriously. However, the traders are lamenting, saying that they are suffering from making no money, that on a normal day, right, the cost of food items has skyrocketed. They have rents to pay for their shops. They have revenue and profit to generate. However, sealing the market just makes it harder for them to achieve all of this. But Lagos State, the government, is upholding a stance which is poor filth would mean no market. What would you say as regards this, Seun? Is this a case of, obey the law, or, maybe certain measures were not put in place to make these people dispose of their refuse properly, and it's hindering them making money?
Well, I think this is a two-way street.
Okay.
I think there's personal responsibility here, and there's also the responsibility of the public institutions that are supposed to handle things like this in terms of waste disposal. Waste disposal in Lagos is generally poor. I don't want us to, I think this is the era where we have to stand up against scapegoating. I think the marketplace is just probably like being scapegoated as being filthy when the entire state is actually filthy. So I think it has to do with us having the proper facilities. That's the first step. Proper facilities to manage the waste.
Okay.
The plastic waste in Lagos alone, before the markets can be clean, Lagos, I think there has to be some serious reorientation of the people here on our relationship with disposable plastic waste and all these styrofoam packs we used to do take away, and plastic packs, and companies that make this need to be brought into some kind of you break it, you fix it kind of situation. Where they also pay some taxes to clean up the state. In terms of, Lagos is inundated with plastic waste. All the canals are blocked, clogged. The drainages are clogged, the gutters are clogged. And this also has to do with the state not bringing these facilities up to date. Many of the drainage facilities in Lagos were built in the colonial times. Many of those areas, the amount of people that are supposed to use those facilities have gone up 100-fold, using the same facilities that were built for maybe 10,000 people living in that area at that time. Now it's 1 million people, and they're still supposed to use the same, so. And the funny thing is, if you go and look at this state government budget and stuff, now the budget for this thing, people collect money to do this thing, but those are the big boys of Lagos, so those are the big boys of Lagos, that's how they do. You get their money, they don't need to do the job.
All right, but you've been to other states. This is just off the radar. Do you think Lagos is perhaps the dirtiest state?
No. Lagos is not the dirtiest state I've seen.
Oh, really?
No. For the size that Lagos is, Lagos is definitely not the dirtiest. I mean, I was traveling through Oyo State one time, and in Ibadan, like left, right,
piles, heaps of dirt.
Yeah, I mean, every state in so dirt and is part of environmental. How would I put it? Environmental sanitation, right?
True.
I went to Bayelsa. And even though the waste there was not plastic or physical waste, it was spillage. Oh. There was so much crude oil spilled into the gutters, into the rivers, So I think all states in Nigeria have some kind of environmental sanitation issues, be it River State with the soot being constantly pumped into the skies because of gas flaring, which is actually state policy, killing its own citizens, So, I mean, our environment is something we have to take seriously. Go to the beaches. I go to the private beaches. You see the market, go to the beaches. It's so dirty, like full of waste,
just floating.
The one that the waste gone has brought to the shore, So we have a lot of work to do in terms of sanitizing Lagos. The marketplace, yes, every market, the facilities are not there to keep it clean. I was saying to a friend of mine who was saying, Nigerians we don't obey the law. Look at the way we are driving. Blah. Have you been to England? This is the way English people drive. They obey the traffic. I said, they obey the traffic, and their government put camera in every corner to be watching wherever they are driving. They have to drive like that because the government has forced them to be in that position.
If they don't, they'll pay.
When I was younger and we used to drive in the UK, man, it was fast and furious, Grand Theft Auto style.
You never got a ticket?
No. When did they start all this system of... We used to use international driver's license back in the day. We used to live... We were not living there. We were on holiday. You look at your passport and your international driver's license, they have to let you go. But anyway, I'm just saying, people used to drive like mad people in the UK. The UK government had to really clamp down on bad drivers with all the tools available to make driving, to sanitize the driving in the UK. Even the environmental situation in the UK, is the same thing. So here in Nigeria, if we want clean markets, investments have to be, not really investments, but plans and policy. I don't like using that word investment when it comes to our national issues.
Why?
Because investment, by definition, is not what we need in Nigeria. Investment is the reason why we are where we are, because everybody with some opportunity or the let me say privilege of doing something tangible for our people here, they don't want to do it except they can make money from it. And as long as we as Africans see our development from the prism of investment, we will never develop. Because investment, by the mere definition of it, means to put the most little that you can in and get the most that you can out. Investment is a euphemism for extraction. Nobody wants to invest 1 million and make 1 million. That's called bad investment. You have to invest 100,000 and make 100 million. Now that's a great investment.
But it's a long-term thing, and so we're always looking for short-term.
That's why development is what we're looking for. Those things that will put money and resources in certain areas of our existence without expecting to extract it back from us tenfold in the next month or next year. People must be willing to even take losses.
Ooh. In
terms of, yes, huge losses, because this is what development is. Nobody develops a nation and makes money from it, because that is not the point of it. And we as Africans have been programmed by these Bretton Woods organizations, IMF, World Bank, all these, they are liars that come here. Ooh, and then they misadvise our politicians. The ones that they do misadvise, that are too smart, they bribe them to fall in line, and they are willing to sell these lies to our people, like we need foreign investment to develop, and then all these things they come to tell us, and we don't see the actual proof in our life. There's no proof in our existence that these things do work, So for me, Africans need to look at ways to bring resources into the part of our life that we need to develop and make it happen. If the markets are going to be clean, it's not going to start from the market women. It's going to start from building better markets, making it affordable to the people that were there before. Not whether they will build the market and pursue the poor people out for rich people to come and take it over.
All right, so someone here on WhatsApp says, I be one go commune, but as I hear Paula say Big Bird is in the building, I say make I sit tight. Seun, good to hear you again on radio. Always love listening to your perspective, even though we don't agree all the time. People's perspective, that is Victor. All right, now speaking about, what to do on a long-term plan in Nigeria, right? There is something coming from the Minister for Agriculture, and this is the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi. Now, he has advised Nigerians to go back to the farm since land is God's natural gift that remains an asset for employment and productive ventures. Now, we know that just yesterday, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics released a statement saying that food prices had jumped by at least 31%.
That's true. We have a restaurant, so I know.
Oh.
That's true.
But yes, now speaking about that, when the prices go up, you have to, of course, add prices to your, food items, the menus, right?
Yeah.
And how is it met? This is off the radar. Like, how do people react? Are they quick to adjust, or do they put up a little bit of a complaint?
I mean, everybody in Nigeria right now knows that nobody's increasing price just because they want to increase price. They know what is going on. So people don't complain really.
They understand.
Price increments, I think they should, but not to the restaurateur, but to the people creating the policies that are increasing the price of foodstuff, and also to those people that are selling food, growing food that their own people cannot afford.
Now, speaking about growing food that's affordable, we know that before the oil boom in the 1970s, agriculture was one of our main streams of generating revenue in the country.
Yes.
Do you think this minister could be onto something, just urging Nigerians to go back to farming and agriculture?
It is another lie that they tell us that is, a half-truth. Say Nigerian farm was the best, was the most, bringing us the most foreign exchange before. So, but what were we growing? Were we feeding ourselves with the food, or were growing cash crops? Nigeria is still, right now today, we are growing more food, more rice, more everything that we've ever grown in this country before. But it is for export. They're not growing it with the policy of food security behind their minds. This is not why they're going into farming. Obasanjo's farm is huge. It grows all sorts of things, but he's not growing it because he wants to feed Nigerians. He's growing it so he can sell it in the international market for dollars. And as long as we are growing food to make money, people will be hungry. That's why imported rice is cheaper than local rice. Think about it. A rice is grown in another country where they even pay higher salary than your own country. Then the rice is bagged, it is shipped, it is transported to Africa, it is cleared from custom. And even with all those extra costs, it lands in your country and it's still cheaper than the rice that your own so-called fellow countrymen are growing in your backyard. So you have to ask the question, who are they growing the food for? About 70% or even more, last time we checked, of the arable land in Nigeria is used to grow cash crops since the 60s. When they say Nigeria was growing, what were they growing? Cocoa. Can you eat cocoa?
Groundnut.
Is groundnut a staple diet? Is groundnut for eating 3-course meal? What part of our meal in Nigeria do we use to grow groundnut? So these are the things that they grow. Now coffee has come, cotton has come. This is what they grow with the land that you'll be using to feed Nigerian people. This is what I talk about investment. It is senseless among African people for us to be looking up to people that are only willing to come to our nations to invest in us. We don't need their investment. We can develop ourselves. And this is why Nigerian people really must become politically conscious before we lose ourselves to the nonsense that is going on in this country. That people in Nigeria are still dying from hunger in 2023 with all the arable land we have in this country because some few selfish people are willing to use it to grow moringa. it is senseless. It is wicked. And you people hail these people, following them all over the street because they'll use the money to buy the money of your hunger. They use to buy Bentley and find shoe and come and post it online. You'll be hailing them. It is annoying. I mean, I'm telling you, we are hungry here. And this minister is here talking about Nigeria should go to the farm. And farm what? Cocoa for your business partners? Cotton to make cloth in China? Is that what we are going to eat? If all these people involved in farming in this country are using the land to grow food, I will be eating. People will not be complaining. The minister should go and check his policy and start growing food instead of cash crops.
But if everyone was to grow food, don't you think it might lower the cost of food items?
That is the point. Don't you want the cost of food items to be lower?
But that means we all have to be a part of it.
No. It doesn't. Is it everybody in America that is a farmer?
No.
Exactly, but America is food sufficient.
True.
Farmers are farmers. It is what they are growing that is the problem. I will say it anywhere. It is what they are growing that is the problem, and that there's no policy, directed towards using our land for ourselves. Any European, American, Canadian, Chinese company can come here, pay some people some money, take huge swaths of land, and just do whatever they want to do with. Whether they want to extract the mineral under for their own benefit is investment. Whether they want to grow food on top for their own benefit is investment. Abroad foreign investment. Everybody will start falling over themselves. That's ridiculous.
Now I wanna ask you, right? Speaking about investment and bringing back foreign investment, I don't know if you saw a video of a campaign and the ongoing gubernatorial campaign in Imo State, where the incumbent governor, Hope Uzodinma, who's running for second term, told the youth, or rather the crowd in Imo, while speaking with them, that he had spoken to European Union companies and Canadian companies, and they were going to employ indigents of Imo, at least 4,000 of them, and that the state government would cover the cost of their flights. So when I saw this, I was going to ask you, but I was like, I don't want it to seem like we're attacking anyone during their campaign, but doesn't that seem to be good? Mind you, these indigents, 4,000 youth, would be traveling to these countries, according to
the state government wants to sponsor Japa?
Well, I will say it's work and travel. It's work and travel.
Who is Japa not to work? Everybody, all my friends are doctors, are going to doctors.
No. Some people are going via the Mediterranean Sea, so that's why.
That one is unofficial Japa. I'm talking of the official route. Japa.
Okay.
So people are going there to work. No, it's interesting to see that there's a governor actually now using Japa as a campaign. That's what he's saying is basically, I will sponsor 4,000 people to Japa. Vote for me.
But they will come back and
we have nothing for you here. We have absolutely nothing.
They will come back and develop.
We have no ideas. We have nothing for you here. But we are here to make sure that you are able to Japa.
Okay, what? Speaking about Japa, let's open up the phone lines. If you want to join the conversation, kindly do so. First off, you can do that on X, also known as Twitter. Feel free to send us a tweet using the hashtag The People's Perspective if you are joining via WhatsApp, where you can call, send a message, or a short voice note. Here is the number for WhatsApp. WhatsApp number 0809 234 5913. I'll take it again, 0809 234 5913. You can also call on any of these numbers if you want to have a chat with the Big Bird, Seun, and I. 0809 222 0913. 0809 234 5913. The women only line for the ladies, 0809 191 3913. For me, Seun, when I saw that, I thought it was commendable because, for a governor to say, I'm going to send you to a foreign land to learn the best of the land, the laws of the land, and the secrets of progress in that land, and bring it back to Imo. You could just be looking at the next China.
Well, I don't think Nigerian politicians or government officials are banned from going to this land. In fact, they attend many seminars where they learn the policies and the systems that run those places that make them function. You might as well bring maybe 100 of the people from there to come and train 400,000 people in Imo.
Rather than sending
whatever 4,000 people want to go and learn there.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, six and a half a dozen, as I said. I mean,
I like
to each
that.
his own. To each his own.
Now, speaking about now there's this the current minister for works. We know that he is the immediate past governor of Ebonyi State. Now there's something that happened just the other day. According to reports, the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, locked workers out. But you know what? Let's take this call before we go. We'll dive right in. Lagos Talks. Good morning.
Hello?
Hi. Hi. Yes. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Austin. I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay, Austin. The big bird is here. You can say hi.
Paula is here as well.
Hi, Big Bird. I just wanted to say hi. I'm a big fan, though. Big Bird.
Thanks for calling, man. Thanks for calling in the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your view.
You too, bro.
I don't know how I did it. I'm trying so hard. I'm going to learn it before next week. But then now, looking at something that happened, we know that, I wouldn't lie to you, since he began he assumed, position, and he's been very vocal. He criticized the works of contractors over the state of federal roads. He said that they should do away with use of coal tar and they should look towards building roads with cement that will last for a long period of time. Let's take this call. We'll continue. Lagos Talks. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
My name is Seun, the big bird.
How you doing, brother?
I do. You see this our government. It's a joke. Which one they sponsor your youth to go slavery? So, it's history repeating itself. The white man came before and tricked our parents with meals and the rest, and then sold our brothers. Now, the leaders are still selling our brothers. It's a shame, that's by the way. But Uncle Seun, sorry, it's difficult to start a business in this country. It's crazy. True story. I'm a TV director, right?
Yeah.
I decided to start my own podcast studio. Make young boy just hold inside.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. We lost you for a second.
Okay, pay the rent. Spent over 6 million on the place. Putting the place together. 4 months to my rent expiring, the landlady came and said I should move out. What is this young boy going to do? That is me. That's how difficult this country is.
Wow.
But I'm not going to lose them.
Wow, this is a very, very, landlords really do take the mickey here. I think, your best bet of action is get a good lawyer and take that landlady to court and don't move. Stay in that place. Don't move. You actually
take which foot to court.
That's your best bet. That's your best bet, brother. Listen. Do you want to listen to me?
Seun is, I would move out. I would start all back again. Now they top by the head, though. I would be great. God bless Nigeria.
Good luck to you, brother.
God bless you,
but this is what we do here. We allow these kind of people get away with these things because Nigerians don't want to stress.
Because everyone is scared to fight an institution or someone who's in a higher or on a higher level.
I'm dragging you to court to stay there for 5 years. I'll be living there free.
You know who you are. Not everyone has your strength. Lagos Talks. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Morning. Hi, Big Bird.
Hello. Good morning.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Basically, I'm calling from Manchester.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, regarding what Big Bird just said. He said, why Jackpot sponsoring Jackpot is using this for campaign. I don't know, but I just feel like even with Jackpot for campaigns and Nigerians are okay with it because Nigerians is just people that have always want short-term stuff and non-long-term stuff, and they prefer to be used and used as a bait around and not do anything about it. And it was talking about also cash land and cash crop for Nigerians, and they should be growing food that Nigeria can afford.
Okay.
People just don't, I don't know, people just don't think anymore in Nigeria. They just use them and they don't see people using them. They just go with whatever is allowed or whatever that is going on in the city. They don't think for themselves. They just follow crowd.
What if I'm asking, sorry to interject, what if they've tried to put up a resistance, but they couldn't possibly do that successfully, so they just had to go with the flow, they had to give in?
I don't know, maybe I'm too young to see, but I don't think in any Nigeria history, like there's been a very huge resistance that it has ever been caused. Like even China has very massive idea of crushing people when they are trying to voice out. Like when people are tired of this COVID in China, you saw how they break up from their apartments, and some people went to jail for it. And the government do what people want. We are the government. They are I don't know, maybe 5,000 people in government and their boys, all of them. They are just not enough to stop people when they want something, and I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much. Seun, what do you have to say?
Well, I think the point he's trying to make is the point we've been making here. He's saying that Nigerian people are not taking their politics seriously.
Everyone,
I think it's true.
Yeah, they just ignore it and be like, yeah, Cruz, don't take life serious. And if they see someone that is trying to take it serious, they just be like, that's your problem, that does not concern us.
It is also what is validated in society, like the institutions of influence. So when people go to their church, in their mosques, they watch TV, the news. This is the way they are told is the proper way to behave. This is how the people they look up to behave. So it is normalized. It's not as if people want to be like that. It is just normalized behavior.
Recently, and they are there's been a lot of proof. I don't know, maybe it's just because the way I've been saying things lately is just so annoying. This recently, Mubad death also whatever. And people Insta blog, all those celebrity followers, they are just pushing this agenda, using people, their followers, as a bait for it. There's this child that just passed away recently in Lagos hospital, and I think they stole the child's kidney. And
the missing small intestine.
The doctor small intestine.
All right, talking about it, and if they are talking about wrongful death, and if it's justice and wrongful death, as they calling it on social media, so why are they not talking about that? Is it because the child is poor for some reason?
All right.
Or because
Thank you. Answer the question.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Enjoy your day.
I think in Nigeria, is general elitism runs through everything in Nigeria. Everything is run
has it always been like
and
this?
especially this is why I hate about the so-called influencer, blogger, celebrity, influencer, all this. It is the same in America, in England, everywhere
in the world.
These puppets of these agents of the elite, these elitist chicken boys that are just the pets of the oppressors. Because the rest of us as the citizenry, we are nothing but animals to the oppressor. But among us, they have some pets. They are still animals, but they are allowed in the house. They are taking care of
domesticated ones.
Yes, they are giving health care abroad too. They live in nice house near the oppressors. They are their pets. So you find them not angry about the large atrocities that their masters commit in this country. But as soon as something happens that makes them feel like, these things that we have been endorsing since can happen to us. So when it happens to someone within their circle, within their purview, then that's when it is the issue. That is when we must. But it is never tackling the cause. It is scapegoating to tackle that particular issue, to bring the people that committed that particular, not to remove that issue from our society so that nobody goes through it anymore.
Just to make
they need
scapegoats.
Those things happening because that's what keeps people looking up to them.
True.
You know, they need the suffering, they need the hunger, they need the bullying, they need the oppression, they need the brutality, the brutalization of people. They want go in all police stations and see how people are locked up like animals. They go in all the prisons. So everybody wants that to be there. So you know why you are scared of them.
Now, speaking about police brutality, right? I just saw the other day where the Nigerian police force spokesperson, Olujobi Adejobi, I beg your pardon, he said that administrative bail is free, but Nigerians on Twitter, or rather X, also known as Twitter, said it's not possible. No one goes in there and you're just told. And he said, oh, it's illegal. Anyone who tells you to pay, tell them to give you an invoice. But everyone who's had an encounter and been detained, lawfully or unlawfully, you know, so it's like, how do I...
It doesn't affect him. He will never be locked up and need bail. You know, so he doesn't need to change it. He doesn't lip service. That's it. It doesn't affect him. You know, so... I mean,
it's not really a problem till it affects someone else.
Yeah, it affects people
that are in power.
To them, that is, you know, that shows them that, oh, this thing can happen to me. That's all. That's when they are like, everybody wants to fall down. And I mean, even a child knows that even to leave checkpoint is not free. Checkpoint is not free. Talk more of bail. Law in this police station. If you don't reach police station, so I mean, it is you know, it is interesting. But that means that we don't really want to face the evils. We don't really want to face what is going on. We want to sweep it under the carpet. We want to ignore it. As long as it's happening to the voiceless, to the poor. You know, when I was in Banti police station, so many boys there that don't even have family. Nobody comes to check them. They didn't do anything. Someone said, I was just walking. They arrested me. You know, and in the cell, you have to confess what you have done before you enter. You know, so many people have not even done anything that warrant them. Some people just report them. Write petition.
Do you think there's enough activism to counter this, like human rights activism, to help counter this? Because I keep hearing people are behind bars, like the son of nobody could just stay there and remain there.
You remain there. You remain there. But it is not an activism thing. You know, it is a systematic thing. It is something that we as African people, it comes with our complete liberation. We have to take our freedom, our liberation from this system as our priority in our existence as African people, except you are ignorant. This is the same thing going on to African people in America, in England. African people getting shot on the street like dogs. Is it because they call them African America? They are African people like you. This is how the system treats us. This is how the system came to create the police force here and train them to treat us. I tell people, the first police and army man in this Africa, what was his job? His job was to kill other African people to protect European interests. The first police and army man in Africa, that was the job he took. And that's the bloodline and the spirit that has been paid. And nobody has done anything to decolonize the force. So the force still runs on the colonial pretext that anybody African is a potential criminal, must be controlled. Like, that's the way we are anywhere in the world under this system. And for it to be happening in Africa is where it is the biggest shame, you know, of it all, you know, where we all have to just put our hands down and let any police or army brutalize us as much as they want.
Now, I saw something yesterday. A man is being remanded in police custody. And now, you know, the court found him guilty of trying to commit murder while in police, or rather suicide, while in police custody. According to them, you know, if he succeeded, it would have been that, he died in detention and the police force would have suffered, you know, a smear on their reputation. But then just thinking that this man was suicidal and then he's still being kept behind bars, do you think that's the right way? Because it's a mental... It
shows how out of touch the Nigerian police force is really. If somebody's in your custody, whether he kill himself or somebody else, it is your responsibility now.
But
while he's in there, he's your responsibility.
But the story could change that, he was killed by the Nigerian police force.
He was in their responsibility.
He's in their custody, anything can happen.
Yes, for anybody in your custody, you take responsibility. It's part of what the institutions are there for. You know, it's just like somebody dies in a hospital. You know, the doctors must give a report, must explain what happened. in places where these things are taken seriously.
Of course.
You can't just, people don't die in your custody, under your responsibility. No, there's no excuse there. There's no excuse there. And in Nigeria too, people that need mental help are put in police station.
And there's no orientation.
Exactly. And there's no training there to let them know the difference between somebody with mental health issues or somebody that has criminal tendencies.
All right. You know what? Wow, Seun, thank you so much for breaking this down. Let's go through WhatsApp messages. We have a couple. Someone says, good morning. The Bible said righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to every nation. Also, when righteous rule, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people mourn. The question is Nigeria rejoicing or mourning? Since when your president entered, from wrong policy to insecurity to taxations to blocking certificates and fighting for legitimacy, and now he's nowhere to be found. The result is this nightmare that this country is facing. If the process that brought you into power is not okay, so this person goes on to say, all right, yeah, this is Dio from Fagba. I can't read the rest. Please pardon me, the NBC. Someone says, good day, everyone. Big Bird, I greet you. Whoever say you know way, Naim no for him head. I would like to say it's time we push the agenda of people getting more involved in politics and not sitting back and pray for it to be done by a bunch of selfish, unwise individuals. From the Imo State candidate, he should provide evidence or else it's just another lie. I'm Olarin Waju. All right, here Jaja says, Big Bird, I don't understand why Nigerians are operating in the colonial blueprint. Our agriculture is designed for export instead of feeding Nigerians. Our military and police is still designed to brutalize the Nigerian people instead of protecting Nigerians. Please, Seun, what can be done to change this mentality of Nigerians?
Nigerians themselves must embrace pan-africanism. I think this happens to Nigerian people in a way also because we as Nigerian people, we hate being African. Yes. The only time we want to be African is when it gives us some advantage to silence our children and our wives at home. That's when everybody remember that they are African men. This is not what we are supposed to be doing in Africa. Why are you behaving like this? Yeah. What part of your life also do you want to uplift? So if people are trying to destroy what is African, and you, man, don't like the part of yourself that you are African, don't you know that you are working on their behalf? So this, our first step was to pan-Africanize ourselves. Become African people. Stop all this your pseudo-European, pseudo-Arabic adventures that you are on. Trying to out-pope the Pope, out-Quran, Muhammad, try to out-European, before they say one thing, in the same crimes. We diminish ourselves when we act like this. We the people must embrace who we are, see the goodness in ourselves, organize ourselves, because that's when you see the goodness in yourself, then you want to work with other people that look like you, that you feel are like you. That's where trust comes from, building of organizations. That's why all the institutions of influence in this country do everything that they can to make sure that Nigerians don't trust one another. You watch any movie in this country, your father wants to kill you, your mother wants to kill you, your brother wants to kill you, your sister wants to kill you, your uncle wants to kill you, your girlfriend wants to kill you, your boyfriend wants to... Everybody wants to kill you in Nigerian film except government and rich people. Go and watch it. All Nigerian film. Everybody just wants to kill you. Then one rich man will come and save you through Jesus Christ at the end. Or one government will give you one job, or a company will rescue you, and then your prayers are answered. Or you listen to music, enemies on the left, enemies on the right. Everybody hates me because I'm fly. If you have money, they want to kill you. All these things are paid for by the oppressor. Yes, I know for a fact. This is the narrative that they want to control our minds, so we do not pan-Africanize ourselves. So then when they tell you that you're listening to African music that is glorifying Bentley and Gucci and Balenciaga and these European things that are exalted into status symbols, like any African that doesn't have these European things are not human. You understand? So this is what we must individually try and remove from our own psyche to fight against it. It's not easy. It's a spirit that has been put in us since when we are small in school. from when they start telling you Mungo Park discovered River Niger.
Imagine.
You know, so
the river had been there like before Mungo Park's great grandparents were
born. It is
born.
spirit we have to exercise. It's not easy, but so we have to do it.
I want to ask you now, you mentioned something about, you know, the mentality trying to be something foreign, you know. Now we have certain systems in place such as education. Most of the curriculum is remodeled after foreign, you know, cultures and the educational system. So long as we're making use of English as the lingua franca, just like you and I, we're attending these schools, we're going to these places to seek healthcare. How do you think we can have an Africa for Africans?
Chinua Achebe is a good point of reference for this. He wrote basically in English. But I want you to go and read Chinua Achebe's writing in English language and go and read Shakespeare. And you see that Seun Achebe is speaking Igbo English. His English is not the English of England.
Oh, not Queen's English.
It is correct Queen's English, but it is the way he says what he says. He will say things like, it is in the bush. It is not because we cannot all see the moon from our compound that makes everybody go under the tree in the square to dance together under the moon. This is basically him translating an African. He's speaking like an African in a way that the world can understand. So I don't care what they used to teach you, what language you are taught in, what language you communicate in, what are we communicating and how are we communicating it to one another.
Makes sense.
Nigeria alone is a country of how many indigenous languages? Are you saying if all of us don't learn all these languages or... No, we can help ourselves. If it's pidgin English we want to use, normal English, whatever. Yoruba man can go and teach somebody in Zamfara, but we must be willing to work together based on our mutual love and trust for one another. And respect also, which is another thing that the mainstream narrative of Nigeria wants you to believe is not important. Respecting yourself and respecting others. You know, you look at all the so-called successful people in Nigeria, it's like they have no self-respect. So children are like, oh, I don't have to respect myself. Look at this one behaving like this, he's still successful. Look at this one behaving like that, he's still successful. Everybody jumping up and down like a monkey, loud. Everybody must be loud, monkeying up and down the place, you know. So, I mean, we the people, we are the answer to our problem. We must be brave enough to resist all the attacks of our enemies, be it mental or physical. And we know, this is what I keep saying, Nigerians know what I'm saying. They know what they are doing. We all know what is happening. We know. I mean, nobody can deny that we don't know what we are doing and how we are kowtowing to our own destruction and demise, hoping that it will be our turn. But it is not. So let's face the fact and do what we have to do. Let's do what we know we have to do.
All right. Thank you for that, Seun. Good morning, Lagos Talks. Who's speaking?
Hello, Paula. This is Alex from Okota.
Okay, Alex. I'm here with the big bird.
Baba show me kiyo.
How you do, Ogun Ify Alex? How body?
Baba, me wasa. But I was born in Lagos, so.
Well, I don't know the gods who they worship for Akwa Ibom. But you say you the Alex, I must Africanize the Alex on your behalf. So I put Ify Alex because now Ify no. So if you teach me the one that they use for Akwa Ibom, I go use them and blend them.
Economy. But Mr. Show, I mean, you're more like my kind of person, personality wise, because I could remember vividly my colleagues in university then when I was in school. They used to call me freedom fighter. I don't take nonsense. I don't take no for an answer, especially when I know my rights. I remember vividly when I was about writing an exam. I've paid for my fees, and the lecturer was there to intimidate me, telling me that I'm not going to write my exams because I have not paid for my fee. I should go to bursary and confirm my payment. I know what I told him. I said, sir, all of us in this class will go, including you, will go there because I will not miss my exams because of school fees. Do you know that one of my colleagues that was scared and timid missed that exam, and that was carryover for him? I used to tell my people, especially those that are willing to hear me, you don't have to fear. What? Hello, can you hear me?
We're listening.
What we as Nigerians have really imbibed into our system is fear, and there's a whole lot that we really need to learn. We need to liberate ourselves from this fear. We need to know our left from right. We need to bring back our culture. the issue of like, let's go back to the government. They swear you in, and you go there and you mess up. Nothing for them to use to justify your actions. Outside of, probably they will just probe you and they will dump your case and not. What into our traditional practice?
I knew you were going there.
Bring them, let them go swear in front of oath and gods, and let's see if you swear and you say you didn't do this thing. Then everything, your family and yourself, your life goes. And let's see how many of these politicians will not sit up. Or even most of them will even leave the offices because they are not ready to die. All their family members die. What I'm trying to say is this: we have let this our Western culture so engross us that we don't even know what we really want anymore as Africans, especially Nigerians. You understand? We've missed it. We really need to trace our steps.
Alex, we have to round things up, but thank you so much for that highlight. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your contribution. I think what Alex is saying, that Nigerians need to embrace who we are again.
Well, have you ever supported people being sworn into office using the traditional gods that could be vengeful if you were to go against your official
what
duty?
I would say is that, these traditional gods existed, and kings and chiefs and used them as an excuse to ship millions of Africans into slavery abroad. The gods are not interested in things that man can solve. Our situation here is man-made. There's nothing spiritual. The African, this whole God thing, both African gods, both European Jesus or Arabic Muhammad, this sort is a personal thing. It's a personal thing for you to handle. Before there was psychology and therapy, a way for people to balance their minds. It's a personal thing. I really feel that humanity makes a huge error when we let this personal thing spill into the public sphere. They are in this country already. We know what is good and what is bad. Even more than the laws of the land. What do we, the people, do to stigmatize those that destroy us? Must the court tell me that this man is guilty when I know he's the one that has destroyed my community, and I'm still inviting him to party or attending the party that is attending and sitting with him, shaking his hand, stand up when he stand up? These things that we do is even worse than the fact that there is no law holding them. Societal stigma is more important than any institutional law in any court. I'll say it again. If you walk into any place and everybody stands up and walks out because of you, it is worse than locking you up for 10 years. You
get the message.
It is. We in society, why don't we know they are bad people? Why are we still embracing them? We that we are not caught. So when you are, the government will sweep it under the carpet. You sweep it under the carpet. Because you are willing to walk, mix, mingle, do anything. How many women have you heard in Nigeria divorce their husband for destroying Nigeria? See, my husband is a politician. He stole money. I'm leaving him. I cannot live with a corrupt person.
It's impossible.
How many girlfriends left boy? How many persons said I'm not dating somebody's child because he's this politician's child? That is their number one target. Hey, my boyfriend is a politician's son. My girlfriend is a politician's daughter. So please, before we jump on the neck of the courts in this country, we are a reflection of our institutions.
True.
You understand what I'm saying? Me, I grew up as Fela's son. My father has not stolen one kobo before. I couldn't step into my girlfriend's house. People couldn't invite me to parties. I couldn't go to
So you faced opposition for your father standing up for the right things.
Stigma.
But your father stood up for the right things.
I have been this is Nigeria for you. This is what I'm saying. I have been a victim of stigma. So I know what stigmatization is. And I see what people do every day. Neil Armstrong. You remember the cyclist guy?
The one
Lance Armstrong.
The doping problem.
He can't visit. He lives in Austin, Texas. He owns a bicycle shop, the biggest in America. Because he's a bike star. Everybody goes there. Everybody in Texas starts to go and buy their bicycle pattern. They wrote a letter to the store that if they ever see him in his own store, they are not coming there to buy anything again.
Wow.
If he goes to a restaurant, he did a document. They were doing a documentary on him. I watched it. From his own mouth, he was saying it in tears. He didn't go to jail, but his life is ruined. He can't go to a restaurant anywhere in America. Any restaurant he goes, people tell the manager that if they allow him continue eating there, all of them will leave the restaurant for him.
Oh, that's worse than death.
Because that is how you treat people that have brought national disgrace. Somebody that has done something that has killed millions of people's children indirectly. But you come and strangle my neck in my bed before you cause my death. You've stolen the money that should build the hospital that should treat me. The money to do the road, everybody dying there, but these people are still held, loved, embraced, elevated. And you're talking about court doing so. Court can't do anything because society doesn't want anything to be done. And that's the truth.
Wow, Seun, thank you for that. Quickly, let's go through messages. Someone says, many thanks, Seun. Someone here says, good morning, Big P and Big Bird. Kuti, thanks for keeping us updated on weekly basis. In respect to what police public relations officer said, there's nothing like administration bill. I went to Lion Building to bill one of my brothers with a sum of 20,000 naira. Somebody doing POS business, they raided him with the POS machine in his hand, and they said they saw him in black spots, like what Seun is trying to say. We're still under the oppressor. Michael from Ikorodu.
They said about black spots.
Well, what's black spots?
Maybe
in a dark area.
New Africa is a black spot. We are all black. This is our spot.
But what is a black? Is it standing in a corner?
My brother, you're in a black spot.
Thank God it's well lit though. Someone here says, Big Bird, I get you. We need to domesticate our thinking. As a man thinks, so he is. Patrick. And he says, how can we then start, to just change with orientation?
It's a personal decision. I say to people, me go and be Fela Pikin. Growing up as Fela's son, I didn't really believe what my dad was saying because it did not personally really make sense to me. In my school, this is where the institutions of influence in this country have so much power.
Okay.
But even me, Fela's son, living with Fela, I doubted him because the number one institution of influence, schools, education, was my teachers. My teachers were saying the same thing my father was saying. Religious institutions, the pastors and imams weren't saying what my father was saying. Influencers and entertainment and media, journalists, newspaper, weren't saying the same thing my father was saying. So come on, this man.
Wow.
But as I grew up and saw the world, but maybe I was lucky enough to have his words in the back of my head, Then I started, this is what my dad was talking about. Then I started to read, started to uneducate and re-educate myself, and I said that, wow, I'm the crazy one. My dad was the only normal person in this whole country.
This is something I've seen so much in comment sections. People saying, if the great fella, your father, were to be alive, what do you think he would say? Because everything is...
They won't listen.
No, but everything is like he had the gift of prophecy. Wasn't this bad?
It was happening. There are just more poor people now than then.
Oh, true.
Exactly. It was... See... Lekki then used to be Surulere and Yaba. This is where the people that are Lekkis, the Lekkis of today were the Suruleres. So I mean, they were the ones that started the whole Fela is crazy. How much their salary was $2,000 a month that time.
Oh wow,
dollar was 1-to-1 now.
Yeah, people could travel
they were
with
increasing salary, 5,000 naira salary a month means you're making 5,000 a month, more than people in New York. What is Fela saying? Fela is a madman with his pants. Smoking this marijuana, Indian hemp thing all over he doesn't know. But now, the more poor people are increasing. Oh, Fela is a prophet.
Everyone
Fela
is suddenly waking up.
Fela is not. He was never a prophet. He didn't have any prophetic instincts. Fela was a good.
So how could he?
Was a good political analyst.
Okay.
And he analyzed what was happening in the country, but as it wasn't affecting majority of the people in those areas. Now, poverty has reached Surulere. That's the problem. Very soon, in another 50 years, 30 years time, 50 years is too long. 20, 30 years.
Lekki.
Poverty will get to Lekki. All these Admiralty Way, all this your area that you're thinking is a big man area, you'll all be full of poor people too, like Lekki, Surulere and Yaba today.
Wow.
And people will now start saying, oh, Seun is a prophet. Seun was saying this thing in 2023.
Seun, please let that not be the case. Please take that back. Someone says, good morning, Lagos Talks. Always refreshing listening to the Big Bird. Please, is this episode recorded or online? Joe from Anthony. Yes, it is. We have the Lagos Talks podcast, so check it out. Someone says, I totally agree with Seun, just like how a candidate in the last election said he doesn't think in Yoruba because he went to MIT. That is heaven from Ogba.
That's all.
Why are you laughing, Seun? Let's listen to this voice now. He could be thinking in,
from Yaba. So yeah, I hear a lot of people on the radio always calling in and complaining of how useless the country is, this, that. Every time he's always complaining. And what I would say is, there's no magic that's going to happen, really. Getting Nigeria better, it's a marathon, not a race. We're already in a very bad situation right now. And the only way we can get better is if individually, each one of us actually strives to become better. And then you teach your children. It's a marathon, not a race. Like, no president is going to come and perform magic. We have 776 local governments. We have 36 governors. We have councillors. We have House of Reps. We have senators. We have ministers and many more. So it's when the people get involved, instead of calling and complaining of how useless Nigeria is, why not you get involved, why not be a better person and, do something for the community? And I'm 26 years old and I'm developing an application that can teach, that would be in less than, I think, 9 months, I should be done with the application, where you can teach Nigerians. It's a course where it's like a crash course of teaching people, politics and governance in Nigeria. So everybody can easily get access to it and learn instead of just crying and complaining. And, so that's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you for that. Unfortunately, it is past 12. We might not be able to pick any more calls. Do you want us to take 1 or 2 calls?
I don't know. I'm going back to Ikeja. So.
All right. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of today's show. Thank you so much. This is The People's Perspective every Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Of course, it is done with the big bird. The eagle has indeed landed. Seun Kuti. All right, Seun, for those who are constantly in awe of what you do and want to keep up with you, follow you, learn from you, how can they possibly do that?
Instagram, Big Bird Kuti. Facebook is Seun Aniklapo Kuti. And on X, it's @Seun Kuti. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Do not forget, catch up on all of whatever shows you may have missed out on. Check out our Lagos Talks podcast. It is across all podcast streaming platforms. You can find it on there. You can also follow us across all social media platforms. Our handle is @Lagos Talks 913. And check us out on YouTube. There's a video too. We're recording this. So the Lagos Talks YouTube channel as well. My name is Paula Chine. If you want to reach out to me, I am on Instagram. My handle is The Big P. The Big P, THEBIIG, and the letter P. Coming up is the world news. We're going to be keeping you informed with happenings from around the world and within Nigeria. Stick around.